Hello, let's do the Netflix puzzled Starstruck for Friday, May 22nd. This one's called Sweet Vowels. We'll do the easy. Oh, the easy is called Sweet Vowels. We'll do the hard after. Anyway, the rules to this puzzle are in each row, each column, and each colored region, we're placing exactly one star. In addition to that, stars can't touch each other, even diagonally. All right, so this top row here is only indigo. The top row is going to place a star, and it's going to end up in indigo, meaning the rest of indigo can't be a star. Similarly, the bottom row is only brown, so the rest of brown is not going to be a star. This is a single star region, so we're just going to place the star there. Well, one left in orange, one left in green, one left in red. Yellow is down to these two. Both of these touch the yellow, so they can't be a star because they would touch the star that ends up in yellow. That leaves just one left in indigo, one left in brown, and one left in yellow, and we're done. All right. I will say that those first two steps may not have been necessary. It's just the first thing I saw. And, in my own solve, it would have been a couple clicks, right? But when explaining, I do like to actually explain the logic and how to think about it. So, you know, my times don't necessarily correlate with your times if you were to use those strategies. All right. So for the hard, it's called Plus. It's by Murat Kantanta. Seems like an occasional contributor other than the normal setter of Sirkin. All right, let's play. All right, we have this top row logic again, so the rest of indigo can't be in because it must have a star in the top row. Yeah, so we have our X-wing pattern. Hopefully, like once you're familiar with it, it's pretty quick to recognize. But I will explain it in case you have not encountered it before, because it is both a not the most straightforward strategy to understand, and the hint system will suggest it, but does a very poor job of explaining it. It does give you the correct eliminations, but all right. So this is what the hint system calls an X-wing. I wouldn't call it an X-wing. I'd call it more like I don't know, a fish maybe. Anyway, or like a I don't know what I'd call it. Set theory. Anyway, this is what we're doing. We are looking at two columns, the two columns that I've highlighted, and two rows. Now, how many stars are in two columns and two rows? Well, instinctually, you might say there are 4 stars, but actually there could be fewer. There are 4 stars if we do like a star here and a star here and a star here, a star here, right? On those edges. Or even like a star down here, right? But if I were to put a star at the intersection, if a star was here at this intersection, then what happens is that's the star for both that column and row. So now I can only put up to 3 stars within those 2 columns and 2 rows. That's what makes this a little complicated. I could do 3 stars like here and here. Or I could get as low as 2 stars by putting at 2 intersections. So that means we have 2 to 4 stars. But I can also say that I have fully covered with the 2 columns and 2 rows. I have fully covered brown. Wherever brown puts a star, it's going to be involved in those 2 rows and 2 columns. In fact, it's going to be involved in this column and this row exclusively. Green also, blue also, red also. So that's 4 regions that are fully covered by 2 rows, 2 columns, meaning that there will be 4 stars because there's going to be 1 per region. That immediately tells us that we cannot place a star in the intersections. We won't have enough for the 4 regions. But in addition to that, that means that we can't put any extra stars outside of those 4 regions because we can't put more than 4 stars in 2 rows, 2 columns. The max is 4. So that means if you're not red or brown in these rows or columns, or blue or green, then you cannot be a star. So we get all of those eliminations there. Okay, let's continue from there. This can't be a star because it touches all of gray. What else do we have here? This touches these 3 and sees the rest in this row, so it can't be a star. I'm surprised there isn't like a super direct follow-up from this X-wing. Maybe it's this blue region that these 3 left. I'm not immediately seeing it. Okay. Oh, no. What am I saying? Sorry. Thought I saw a lineup, but obviously indigo does not line up with gray. It can be in any of those. I mean, I guess we have something a little simpler than the X-wing, to be honest. Do we? I mean, I'm thinking about how brown and red kind of line up. Green, like these all kind of line up with each other. But I'm trying to figure out how that could be used. Well, okay, so we can think about these 3 rows here. In these 3 rows, we have 3 stars, and we only have 3 regions, the brown, the green, and the orange. And so as a result, that's where those stars will go. One will go in brown, one will go in green, one will go in orange. So the rest of orange can't have a star because it can't have 2 stars in it. Now, I think that... Ah, yeah, we have a lineup here with gray as well. So I wonder if the X thing was necessary. I mean, it was fun, but I don't know if it was necessary. I like to explain it. So in these 3 rows, we got to put in brown, gray. Sorry, what am I saying? We got to put it in red, blue, and gray. So we can't have it in these cells. All right. I do have these 4 columns. Green, oopsie, didn't mean to do that. Green, blue, gray. Oh, wait, what am I saying? Oh, yeah, and so blue, green, gray, and this dark orange are all fully within these 4 columns. Meaning if you're not those colors, you cannot be a star. Wait, did I? Yeah, this is part of it. Got rid of a bunch of orange. Orange is down to these 2, so that removes from these and this one that touches both. So now this touches that one, sees that in the column, so that's out. I feel like I'm missing like an obvious spot that would just clean this up, but I'm not seeing it yet. The only way that's true is if that's true. Do we have more lineups? These 3 don't work. These 3 we got. These 3 we got. So what's left? We got that, that. I think we looked at all the lineups. This places that. This doesn't do much. One of these 2, one of these 3. This places that. Places that. I don't know. I'm looking at chains because I don't know what else to look at. All right, so if we want to look for a chain, often what we want to do is focus on binary options, where hopefully both of the options have a big effect. So like this is a binary option. This column puts it here or here, but neither of them have a big effect. Like they don't like, oh, sorry. This one does have a big effect. This is just in this row. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, that places the yellow. That places the brown and the red. 2 out of our 4 in our X-Wing. Does not just continue from here? This row has to place 1. It's going to go in orange, right? 1 left for orange. That's it. That's green. Indigo has to go here. So one of these 2, one of these 2. Yeah. Yeah, gray's just down to these 2, so that removes from here. That gives us this and this and this. All right. Some poor scanning there at the end, but I find that I like to find the complicated stuff and then I end up ignoring the easy stuff. But hopefully that makes it a little entertaining. All right, well, how'd you do?